District Court, Sac County is now in session. The Honorable Church will be presented.
Thank you. Please be seated. Anything that we need to take up before we bring the jury in?
Nothing to say, Your Honor. Nothing from defense.
All right. Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming back. We have had instances where we're missing a juror or two, and that's not a good situation. Judge Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor. State would call Deputy Brian Erritt, Sac County Sheriff's Office.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please state your name for the record.
Brian Erritt.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Thank you. Deputy Erritt, could you spell your first and last name, please, for the record?
Brian, B-R-I-A-N. Erritt, E-R-R-I-T-T.
And Deputy Erritt, you're with the Sac County Sheriff's Office, is that right?
Yes, I am.
And are you employed there as a deputy?
Yes.
And your title, detective or captain?
Captain.
Captain. How long have you been with the Sac County Sheriff's Office?
I think I'm in my 22nd year.
And prior to working for the Sac County Sheriff, where did you work?
I was on the Sac City Police Department for approximately 4 years.
Captain Erritt, on August 18, 2014, were you working for the Sac County Sheriff's Office at that time?
Yes, I was.
And Captain Erritt, how did you become involved in this case?
I believe one of our deputies talked to the victim the night before to set up a meeting for that day to talk to her.
And as part of your job duties and responsibilities, do you interview alleged victims and alleged perpetrators?
Yes.
Okay. And in this instance, in this case, did you interview the defendant, Scott Pfister?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember when that interview occurred?
It would have been shortly after noon.
Okay. And was that on the same day, August 18, 2014?
Yes, I believe it was.
Okay. And was this interview recorded?
Yes, it was.
Captain Erritt, prior to coming into court today, did you review the interview as well?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Captain Erritt, I'm handing you what's been marked, what I've marked as State's Exhibit 2. This is a DVD of the relevant excerpts of the defendant's interview. This interview was a video and audio recorded, is that correct?
Yes, it was.
And what was the purpose, Captain, of interviewing the defendant?
To discuss with him the allegations that have been made against him.
Okay. At this time, the state would move to enter its Exhibit 2 into evidence.
I have no objection.
Exhibit 2 is admitted.
Captain Erritt, when you interviewed the defendant, where was the interview? Where did it take place?
Here in our office, our interview rooms.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request permission to play its Exhibit number 2, which is approximately 15 minutes long.
You object?
I have no objection.
All right. We'll just put on the record that the video will be played, will not be transcribed, but the exhibit itself will be made part of the record.
Go back to Kayla. You said she was over 18. Yeah. She was like we took her down hunting a couple times. We'd lay together in the boat, cuddle, you know. She would, and, you know, she was having a lot of trouble, and I told her, I mean, didn't have any sex with her, nothing like that. I don't know if she thought it was more than that, but it wasn't.
Well, indicating, not really indicating sex per se, but maybe hands where they shouldn't be.
I know, you know, holding her, in, you know, when we were in the boat or whatever, and then, you know, 'cause she's shorter than I am. Not as far as actually touching the breast and the vagina area, it was not on purpose. I mean, if she was sitting on my lap or I was holding on to her or something, giving her a hug, that was it. It wasn't intentionally sexual or nothing.
So it may have happened.
It purely accidental.
And then even Kayla said,
You know, tickling,
it was back when she was before she was 18.
not, I mean,
And she's indicating after 18. If that is when all this happens, when after 18 was more than just cuddling.
not that I know. I mean, if I was doing something wrong, like Kayla, when she was going to college, she'd call, come help me, and my car's broke down, and this and that, and I'd go up there, you know, like halfway to Sioux City, and then she'd sit there involved in my arms for probably half hour, because she didn't know if she's going to get her student loan, and how she getting a car fixed and stuff. I mean, if I was doing stuff inappropriately, why would they call me needing my help? I don't understand. You know what I mean? It don't make any sense.
So then she indicated like probably when she was 15 until she turned maybe 18, about 2008 or so.
I don't know, years from years, but I mean, they grow so fast. But, I mean, she would always want to go duck hunting with us and pheasant and deer hunting with us all the time. Like I said, one time she was coming from her boyfriend's house in Des Moines to Sioux City, and that 80, that goes 680 up to 29. Her car broke down. She called me at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I ran down there, and her and her dad, you know, her dad and I loaded up her car and brought her home, and she took my son's car to college.
I guess when you mean, you said nothing ever happened, but yet you indicated, I mean, it seemed like a weird statement to me, honestly, when you said she was 18. Well, if nothing happened, whether it was maybe she was 18 or not, just, when you said she was in college, but it made it sound like when she was 18, you may have crossed the line.
We kissed a few times when she was upset and that, you know, she was...
And you didn't touch her?
Well, holding her and kissing her.
Because she was 18, it just seems like maybe...
Well, kissing her at 18, you know, kissing under 18, I guess she...
You understand what I'm saying? When I was 17, like whatever you did was okay, but she was consenting. It was an adult.
Kissing her on the lips and holding her, you know,
But you never...
because she was...
Is that?
No.
I mean, you're cuddling and...
I mean, she wasn't crying.
Hormones and all that stuff, you know, you're out in the middle of nowhere, just the two of you.
No, she's just like my daughter. No way. I mean, she would come to me because she couldn't go to her parents. She wanted to kiss, you know, especially the time that her tire blew, and then her car was overheating, and I had to go, I took the trailer up there, I thought I was going to have to haul it home again. And I got it fixed, told her how to get her tire fixed, and then she just broke down, started crying, and then she looked up, and I just kissed her a little bit, and then she went to Sioux City, where she lived. I mean, and we were never, the only time I was ever alone with Kayla was the time I went to Sioux City and change her tire. That's the only time I was ever alone with her.
You never hunted alone?
No. It was either one or both of my boys, and a lot of times my nephew went with us, or her brother sometimes, and her dad never went in the boat with us. But we were never alone.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
That's what's the point, I mean, I'd like to read cables, if you wish, okay? And I understand, okay, you said she was 18 at the time. And I understand being married, you don't want your wife to find out. I understand that, trust me. And if you wish to read it, you can, but I can point out to you things that she said that happened.
It's a pity.
And they said honey, you know, is pair of the bird. A lot of times honey with other parties, they would push, and you park your truck in the field drive. Let's say you pull down your pants, so she could put her hand on your penis and rub it. I mean,
The last time we went hunting in my truck, any of the time that we were alone, she was in the back seat and I was in the lead. And we went over and I got out to start walking and she took my truck. I have no idea what the hell she's talking about.
and yet sometimes we talk about having threesomes, third or week.
No.
Because you thought it would be fun to do it with someone else.
No. And when was all this supposed to?
Oh, it's over, we're talking a long period of time.
Because she hasn't done it for.
No, some of this is, I mean, like you said, she was 18, I understand why you wouldn't want.
Well, the last time that
She told me, you think it really makes sense? I mean, it's I mean, you admitted you cuddled under blanket and both other people. And she admits that. There were people around a lot of times. And you always had a blanket.
Yeah, so last fall,
It was in the back hands with one, or?
no. Yeah, we get to sleep at midnight and have to be up by 6 o'clock. You gotta go to sleep.
No.
Bullshit, I need my sleep. Last year, I go duck hunting, my nephew, he's Cody Weaver, and he's, what, 15, 14? He slept in the back with me. And then Tanner and Nick and Alex were up front. What's the difference? I ain't gonna be wandering hands or whatever you say with that. No way.
What?
With Cody. I mean, just because we're laying together side by side in a boat don't mean it happened. We lay next to each other, Cody and I did too, because it was cold. So but just because you lay next to each other, staying warm doesn't mean you're feeling each other up. But I don't understand it.
So on the couch, when you were alone?
When we were never alone. Try to think whenever, and when because if Kate was around, my boys were around. My wife or when my daughter was young, she would, I mean, we were never alone together. Really.
That's fine. I mean, not necessarily always alone either. I mean, blankets to cover things.
So how, I don't get it.
But I mean, it even bothered me, right away you said she was 18, which indicated being the only time that you were worried about her age.
Because she was always, close to me and everything, and looking up to me. And she tried kissing me one other time, and I'm like, no. And this time when we were at Lacey City, I'm like, all right, I'll kiss her back. And then after that, then she found a boyfriend, I don't know, because she was breaking up with one in Des Moines. And I think that's when she started going out with me. And then she always called him when she had trouble. But that was the only time that it went
any further, whatever, than did it helping her. You know what I'm saying?
I know, you're basically telling me, without telling me that something didn't happen, but saying, right on 18, because you knew, I mean, she was 18, so everything's fine and was consensual. And then the other, all these, well, it could have been an accident, I did this, it could have been an accident, then when I touched her there, it could have been an accident, everything's an accident. You're finding waste on and telling me what actually happened.
I never
want to know, all I want to know is your version.
I never actually, I intentionally tried to touch her breast or vagina. Maybe, I mean, I go up under her, tickle her right here under her shirt or on the thighs here, but it was never sexual. I mean, it was just screwing around.
No, but I mean,
There was,
I guess you're telling me,
there was a few times when, I don't know what the heck they call it, these used to be really bad at doing it all the time. Could call it cornholing or something. You walk up and you hit each other in the butt, something like that. I don't know what the hell she called it. But when we sit on the couch, she was on that end of the couch, I was on this end, on the blanket, and she come up and did it, or Sam come up there, my daughter, and she did it to her, so I reached down with my foot and did it to her. Unless that's what she's talking about.
no, but I don't know if that's what, but I think, you know, see what she called it. The more we go, the more you're saying you did without just coming out and being honest.
Well, I'm just not trying to think of what I did that she would have mistook. I don't
I don't think you
understand.
mistook anything.
I'm just telling you, I didn't intentionally do anything.
You keep saying that.
So, I mean,
It leads me to believe he did something, just can't man up enough to admit it right now.
no. I
Did
didn't
you
do
keep
it.
making, like, now the corn, whatever you call it, that's a new
Well,
one.
that's what she called it. But I didn't believe how I thought of that. If that's what Tetsy's talking about, I don't know.
But the more we talk, the more you come up with different things that may have happened, that she may have misunderstood. I mean,
Well, I'm trying to understand,
like you are, you were touching a lot.
what do you mean I'm touching a lot?
Well, it sounds like you had a lot of accidents.
Now,
It sounds like it's very subtle, the way it happened. Like under a blanket or,
well, maybe it was accidental then. I don't, that's what I don't understand.
I mean, if you're cuddling with somebody under a blanket, how can you just accidentally slip your hand down their pants?
I didn't slip my hand down the pants. That, no, I did not slip my hand down the
Did
pants.
you ever touch on top of the pants?
Yeah, wrestling and stuff, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you're cuddling with somebody, which seems under a blanket.
Cuddling.
Well, like if you're laying under a blanket, sleeping, what do you call it if you're not cuddling?
They can be on one end of the couch, I can be on the other end of the couch.
But that's not said. So sitting on the couch at his house covered up with a blanket. Okay, maybe where he slid his foot under the blanket and started touching me with his toes. So you might have been sitting there opposite on the couch.
Yeah. That's what I mean, if it was that thing that those kids, they do all the time, that cornholing or whatever the heck they called it. Cause she did it to my daughter and I know I pushed that, I don't know where I hit her, but just reach under like, and then I think that's what they call it, you holler cornhole or something. Maybe that's what, I don't know.
Kayla indicated, should it be your little secret or?
I don't know what that was, my little secret.
Whenever I told him I didn't want to, he would tell me, nobody knows, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And said then I just stopped going over to his house. So it stopped.
She went to college. She went to Sioux City College. Otherwise, she was always in our house until she went to college. And then she still, when she come back on the weekend, she would come down to our house. Or she'd call me to help her, she was a little tired or whatever, she.
Captain Erritt, before this interview began, did you have any communications with the defendant concerning the allegations or the nature of the allegations?
No, not until we got here.
And when you got to the interview room before it began recording, did you tell him the general nature of what had been alleged?
No.
Okay. Captain, can you tell me how old the defendant is?
I believe 45.
Okay. And where does the defendant live, or was he living at the time?
It's Main Street, Lincoln, Iowa, Sac County.
I don't have any further questions.
Schulte?
I don't have any questions.
Thank you. You may step down.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would rest its case.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short